Hi everyone, I'm Jasmine, and today I'm going to talk about salmon, which has always been my favorite dish in the Japanese food. But the weird thing is that the range of salmon's price is pretty large, and I have eaten salmon at a very expensive price, but I have also found salmon in the market which is very cheap. And as a result, this question comes to my mind: why is the price of salmon be so different? So today I'm going to talk to you about the Aquadvantage salmon, which is a kind of genetic engineering technique that can make salmon grow 2 times faster and 2 times larger than the normal salmon. Aquadvantage salmon. In this picture, this is the comparison of the normal salmon and the transgenic salmon, which can clearly be seen that they are different in size. The transgenic, the Aquadvantage salmon, is 2 times larger and longer than a normal salmon. So how does Aquadvantage salmon be made, and what is it made from? So basically, the Aquadvantage salmon is the recombinant of 3 kinds of DNA. We put Chinook salmon and ocean pout DNA into Atlantic salmon, which is the most common kind of DNA, and it comes out to our Aquadvantage salmon. So here are 3 kinds of DNA from each kind of fish. So first we have the DNA from Atlantic salmon, then we have Chinook salmon, and then last we have the DNA of the ocean pout. So the purpose of having the DNA from the ocean pout is to get the normal regulatory sequence, for the growth hormone activates that gene would keep the growth hormone turned on all year round, instead of the gene that will respond to certain environmental cues like temperature, seasons, or amount of daylight. Incorporating the DNA sequences of ocean pout, the antifreeze promoter is a key to open up the antifreeze gene and ensure the growth hormone will be turned on and keep expressing all the time. And the DNA we get from the Chinook salmon is the genetic code for a growth hormone to make it grow faster and larger. With the antifreeze promoter from the ocean pout, the antifreeze gene can be opened up and keep producing growth hormone. After that, like what we learned in class, restriction enzymes like a knife can cut down DNA. We use restriction enzyme to cut down DNA into pieces from 3 kinds of fish. Then we recombinate the pieces of 3 kinds of DNA, and they turn out into the new kinds of recombinant DNA. This is the fertilized egg of normal Atlantic salmon. We then put our recombinant DNA into this fertilized egg. Hooray! Here we got our Aquadvantage salmon, the transgenic salmon. The process of this is basically they put DNA fragments from other fish and recombine or inject it into the fertilized eggs of the Atlantic salmon. With this technique, we can have more and more salmon. In this graph, we can see that 250 days for transgenic salmon to grow to 500 grams, but for normal salmon, it needs 400 days, which shows that transgenic salmon could grow much more faster and can meet the same weight than the normal salmon in a short amount of time. This is why produced transgenic salmon is a much more efficient way. But why salmon? The salmon has been chosen for the genetic engineering is because the high consumer demands for salmon products. What are the biological differences between normal salmon and Aquadvantage salmon? There's actually no significant differences, only the fact that they have different amount of genes. And studies have also shown that Aquadvantage salmon has contained the normal amounts of nutrients, which means that they can meet humans' nutrient needs. What are the advantages and disadvantages? The first advantage is that with the genetic engineering technique, since the amount of supply has increased compared to demand, the cost of the food will be lower. Secondly, the fish farming become more profitable. They feed less and weigh less, but they can even get a bigger fish, which is more efficient and can gain more money in a shorter time. Third, if the price of salmon falls, more people can afford the food. And as more food become available to the population, the hunger rate will fall. On the other hand, for the disadvantages, with this technique, when they're released to the ocean, they will compete with normal salmon and make food scarce for them. And because of faster growth rate, which further increase their chance to overpower ordinary fishes. Also, the studies have shown that the genetic modification might make them even more dangerous to those who are allergic to finfish. Furthermore, it may cause health problems by eating them. Genetically modified salmon contains high levels of a growth hormone. This hormone has been found to have a connection with the colon cancer and may promote the development of these illnesses. Though last but not least, they can create a monopoly in the market. The increase of salmon supply may cause its price to reduce. However, some economists point out that this may not happen right away, since the technology has a monopoly on the market. Since no other genetic modification company has also been approved by the FDA, they have the freedom to set the price. So as a result, disadvantages are more than advantages. I still do not agree with a large amount of producing transgenic salmon. There may have some problem that people still could not find out today, and it may cause some disease. But on top of that, eating too much growth hormone is not natural, and it still seems like a bad thing in our society nowadays.